Hi everybody, this is a video on cello scales, and this page is called Scale Skills, and it will walk us through all of the beginner scales that a cellist should know within the first year or two of playing. The first scale we're going to look at is our D major scale. It starts on our open D string and goes to E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D, all the way up on the A string now. Then we go to C sharp, B, A, G, F sharp, E, and D. All of these are tape notes. It's just 1s, 3s, and 4s. Nothing funny yet. Next, let's just listen to it. Next, let's just listen to it, and I will also finger along on the cello so you can see it. Here we go. So that's song number 1, the D major scale. Moving on, song number 2 is the G scale. Luckily, it's the exact same thing, but now we just start on our open G. And we start on the G note, open G, and we have A, then we have B, then we have C, that's 4 fingers, open D, E, F sharp, G, F sharp, E, D, C, B, A, and then G. Next, let's listen to it. And then let's listen again, and I will play along. So that is the G scale. Next, we're moving on to the C scale. But this one, we are not starting on our open C. We're going to start on a different C. 4 fingers on the G string. 4 fingers on the G string. We have the C note right here. First note is C. Then we have D, open D. Then we have E. And then notice there's a 2 right here above this F note. And that's actually in between red and white. Our second finger goes right there. Then we have our G note, 4 fingers. Open A, the B note, 1 finger. And then notice how we have a C, not a C sharp, but a C. And it says 2, so we're going to use our second finger right there. Earlier, when we played a C, it was actually a C sharp, which is 3 fingers. And now we have 2 fingers for a C natural. And that's the only way that our C scale will sound correct. So let's listen to this one. And then we can listen again, and I will finger along. Here we go. Ready? So that is our C scale. Next up, it's different for our violin players, but it is not different for our cellos. So the G scale just starts in open G, and we have all the tape notes. You can review song number 2. Now song number 5 is new. Song number 5 is a C scale, but it's lower for our violas and cellos because we now have our open C string. Violins do not have an open C string. The lowest string they have is a G note. Their open G sounds like that. So the C string all the way down there, notice how we have 2 ledger lines. We have the note C, then the note D, then E, then F, then open G, then A, then B, and then C, and then B, then A, G, F, 4 on the C, and then E, then D, 1 finger on the C, and then open C. Let's listen to this one. And then let's listen again, but I will play along. So that is our low C scale for cellos. Moving on to song number 6. Now we have a new kind of note to learn. So we've got our tape notes 1, 3, and 4, and then we learned 2. Now we're going to learn low 1. We're going to take our first finger and extend it backwards. I like to point my first finger out and point up, and then it can reach back far enough. Because we need to get right in between this part of the nut and that part, our first finger tape, we need to be exactly in between. Some of you might have a little red dot like right there, and that's how far we need to extend backwards. Our goal is to have 4 still stay on blue, 2 to be exactly in between red and white, and then 1 to come back like this. Don't just try and stretch it. I suggest you lean it back. Lean it back that way instead of trying to stretch that way. So our first note is another new note, B flat, but it's just a second finger on the G string, B flat, and we have C, open D, and now this, L1, stands for low 1, and this is on the D string. It's a low 1. Not here, not 1, but low 1 for the note E flat, that is E flat. So let's restart. B flat, C, open D, E flat, F, G, open A, and then another low 1, we have a B flat. B flat, not B, but B flat. Then back down, we have open A, and then G. Make sure it's all the way up to blue. It can be a big stretch if you just came back from a low 1 to get all the way up to blue. And a 2 for the F, E flat, and then D, and then C, and then B flat. Next, we're moving on. Song number 7 uses the exact, let's go back to the B flat scale. Let's listen to it. I almost skipped ahead, sorry about that. And then I'll play it again, and I will finger along, starting on 2. Here we go. And that is our B flat scale. That's probably the toughest one on this sheet. Song number 7 is easier. It uses the exact same finger pattern as our C scale in song number 3. Notice how the C scale starts on a 4th finger and it uses a 2nd finger oops, a second finger there, and also a second finger there. If we just take all of this and we move it down to start on our C string instead of starting on our G string, we now have song number 7, which is the F scale. F, and then open G, and then we have an A. Luckily, it's a regular one. We're back to regular ones. And then it's a 2, and then it's a 4 for the C, then D, E, F. Notice it's the second finger. It's not an F sharp, it's an F. E, D, C, B flat, A, G, F. Now let's listen to it. And then let's do it again, but I will finger along. Make sure you have a nice big stretch to get these notes in tune on your C and your G string. Usually you have to stretch a little bit further than you think. All the way up to blue. Oh, okay, here we go. So that is our F scale, the exact same as our C scale. But we move down to our C string. Moving on, song number 8 is the A scale, and we're learning another kind of note. We are going from a regular closed position, and now we are going into this position. We can call this open position or extended position. I will usually call this extended position. This will feel just like when we had a low 1, where we have a really big extension in our hand from a low 1 to our second finger being in between red and white still. But now our first finger is on red, and you can see here that we have a high 2. The high 2 on the B note is where we put our second finger on the white note of our G string. Let me say that again. This note is the B note, and it says high 2. We need to put our second finger, not regular, but high, up to the white tape on our G string. High 2 on the G string. So we have A, and then we have B, but now we're playing it with our second finger instead of our third finger. And I know that might seem weird, but it's going to make this next note much easier. So if you play this note with your second finger, then all you have to do is put your fourth finger down, and it will magically land on the note C sharp. The note C sharp is not on blue, but it is just above blue. If you put your third finger on blue, your pinky will land there. Or if you put your second finger on white, just put the rest of your fingers down, your pinky will land on the note C sharp. And then we have a low 1 to get to our regular one. We extend to get to our red tape. So we have A, B, C sharp, D, then E. Then again, we do the exact same kind of shape on our D string, but now our notes are E, F sharp with a second finger, and G sharp, which is a high 4. We have regular 4 and high 4. It's a pretty big stretch. So we have E, and then we have F sharp, G sharp, and then open A. And then you come back down with the exact same notes. We have high 4 on the D string, G sharp. Then we have a high 2, F sharp. Then we have an E. Then we have a D. Then we have a C sharp. Make sure you stretch up extra high for that C sharp. And then we have a 2 for the B. And then 1 on the A right there. So next, let's listen to this one. And then let's listen to it again, and I will finger along. Here we go. And that is our A scale. That was song number 8. Song number 9 is the exact same thing. It's just different for our violin players because they go up onto their really high E string. So we can skip song number 9 and go straight for our last scale, our D major scale. So we've already played one D major scale, song number 1. But as you can see, this one starts all the way in the basement on that low D note, which is one finger on the C string. That's the D note. After that, it's the exact same pattern as song number 8 and 9, with the high 2 and the high 4 that puts us into extended position. We are in extended first position. Our first finger still stays on red because it's not a low one, but we extend our hand up, so we have 1 on red, 2 on white, and then 4 is above our blue tape right there. It's the exact same thing as our A scale, but now instead of starting on the A note of our G string, now we just start on the D note of our low C string. So we have D with 1, E with our second finger, F sharp. Notice it's above the blue tape. Our third finger actually lands on blue, but we play 4, open G, and then 1 for the A, high 2, and then high 4 for the C sharp, and then open D, and then high 4 for the C sharp again, high 2 for the B, 1 for the A, open G, and extend for the high 4, that's F sharp, high 4 on the C string, and then E, which is a high 2, 2 on white, and then 1, which is just one finger on the C string for the D note. And that is our low D scale. Next, let's listen to it. And then let's listen to it while I finger along. Ready? There we go. I think one of the violin parts had a wrong note in there. I'll go fix that. But good luck, everybody. You can send me a message through my email if you have any questions, or on Remind if you have any questions at all. Good luck with these scales, and happy practicing, everybody.